we're going to talk about how to solve a problem that has two radicals, such as this. The first thing I notice is that I have a radical on each side of my equation, but this left-hand side also has this plus 1 constant term. So when I go to square each side to try to get rid of the radicals, something interesting is going to happen. On the right-hand side, the radical and the power cancels out and I get 3 minus x. But on the left-hand side, this is now a binomial that I'm squaring. And I'm actually going to write that out so you guys can see the steps and we can follow it. Okay, so now I've got to multiply this binomial expression. So the square root of x plus 2 times the square root of x plus 2, that's actually just going to give me an x plus 2. Those radicals cancel. The square root of x plus 2 times 1 is just, well, the square root of x plus 2. And I'm going to get the same thing on the inside. And then here I get a 1. Still all equal to 3 minus x. Okay. Now I'm going to try to simplify. Right here, these parentheses, they don't mean multiplication. They're just showing you that the square root of x plus 2 times the square root of x plus 2, this is where that step came from. So I can actually combine like terms. X plus 2 plus 1 over here is going to give me the x plus 3. And since I have 2 of these, that's just going to be 2 times the square root of x plus 2, because I have 2 of them, equals 3 minus x. Okay. Now I've got my problem down to one radical symbol, which is what I wanted. I'm going to isolate that by first subtracting x. So that gives me 3 plus 2 root x plus 2 equals 3. And now I'm going to subtract 3. Oops, I forgot. I'm sorry. Negative 2x right here. I'm going to subtract 3. And I get 2 times the square root of x plus 2 equals negative 2x. This just makes 0. Now I'm going to divide by 2. Okay. Now I can square this equation again. And that's going to give me x plus 2 equals negative x times negative x is actually positive x squared. Now this is a quadratic equation. I need to set this equal to 0. So I'm going to move my x and my 2 to the other side. So I have 0 equals x squared minus x minus 2. So I have two options. I can either try to factor this, I could do completing the square, so I guess I have 3 options, or I could use the quadratic formula. I'm going to try to factor it. Let's see if it factors. A negative 2 and a negative 1, so that'd be a negative 2 and a positive 1. So my two answers should be 2 and negative 1. But I need to check my work. Okay, so I'm going to take first my answer of 2, and I'm going to plug it back in to my original equation. So let's see. Is the square root of 2 plus 2 plus 1 equal to the square root of 3 minus 2? Is the square root of 4 plus 1 equal to the square root of 1? So is 2 plus 1 equal to 1? No. Okay, let me check the other one. The other answer was negative 1. Is the square root of negative 1 plus 2 plus 1 equal to the square root of 3 minus a negative 1? So is the square root of 1 plus 1 equal to the square root of 4? Is 1 plus 1 equal to 2? Yes. So our final answer is just negative 1 because 2 is extraneous. You should always check your answers at the end.